But in France, the Yellow Vest movement may be running out of steam. Fewer than 30,000 demonstrators turned out this past weekend across the country, according to the government. It's a far cry from the hundreds of thousands who marched in cities and clashed with police back in mid-November. France's Labour Minister, Muriel Penicaud, joins me now from New York. Minister, the first thing I, of course, must apologise is that I'm not in the studio with you in New York, where I normally would be, but obviously I'm over here in Brexit, which we can talk about as well in a second. On the Yellow Jackets protests, do you believe it's just run out of steam and that the worst has been seen?
I think that the question raised by the Yellow Vest is something you can find in many countries. It can be in election, that was outside election. But the question of so many people in our countries, in our developed countries, that feel fear because globalization is not only winners, there are also losers. Fear because there's a big change in technology coming. So a lot of people, a lot of citizens in our democracy feel anxious about the future and their future and the future of their children. Is that not special to France? I mean, Yellow Vest is not special to France. The way it is expressed is special to France, but not deeply the question behind.
Right, but there's also what is special to France. You're right, those issues affect everybody. But what is special to France are the industrial reforms of President Macron that are going root and branch after many of the sacred cows, if you like, of the Labour movement. Pensions, work guarantees, overtime, all those sort of things. Have you learned the lesson that you can't move as fast when making such major changes?
So it's interesting to see that the question raised by this social movement is not against the reform we have done. I've been lucky enough and proud with our President Emmanuel Macron to lead some big reforms. We are reforming the whole labour market, first by the labour code to make more flexibility, more agility, more predictability, especially in redundancy case. And since that, I see every day investor, foreign investor, or SMEs that say, now we don't fear anymore too high. We have done also a second reform, which is about upskilling the nation with artificial intelligence, with the digitalization. We know that the skills will be the key. These two reforms that have been passed have not been contested the last month in the social movement. The question was much more about the social transition on ecological transition, and especially the purchasing power. The main question would have been raised is purchasing power.
Minister, when President Macron came in, the saying was France is back. With Brexit on the horizon, how worried are you that there's going to be a really nasty Brexit and France is going to feel the pain?
It's clear that Europe didn't choose Brexit, but we respect the vote of our British cousins. And it's clear that the hard Brexit, as we say, is not a win-win solution. But in a way, it has something will happen. Anyway, that's the responsibility of UK to choose the way it is. We have Europe and UK have negotiated for a long time. Now the question is, are we ready to all situations? The most important, that there are citizens that can be a German, French or British citizen where they live today, where they work, don't feel fear in the coming weeks if there is no political better solution. And so we are ready to make something smooth for people. But from a government standpoint, each government takes its responsibilities.
Minister, we'll meet again in Paris or New York, face to face.
With pleasure.
To deal with these matters. Thank you very much. It's appreciated.
Thank you very much.